So let's start working in this project, and we're gonna open, I'm gonna close, for example, I'm gonna make this to the left, and I'm gonna close this. Close the category. We're gonna start with this index.html. If you scroll a little, you will find this form. You can see we have this ID called search form. So basically we're gonna start working with this app.js. So first we're gonna create the event listeners. And here on the top, we're gonna instantiate the classes. So we're gonna start with the event listeners. I'm gonna add the event listeners into a function. So we're gonna call function event listeners, and we're gonna execute this function. So we're gonna start with the search form. So we're gonna add right here, add event listener when form is submitted. And we're gonna create a const variable, const, and we're gonna call this one search form. Is going to be equals to document, a dot, query selector, and we're gonna select the search form. Then since we are using different files, so for example, if you save this and you add a search form and a dot, add event listener, and you add submit, we're gonna create this function. We're gonna call this one get cocktails. And cocktails like this doesn't need the parentheses. So here on the bottom, we're gonna get cocktails function. I'm gonna create this, and we're gonna see an example. So we're gonna save this, and we're gonna right click here. You can see if I inspect this in the console, nothing happens. But if you open this, my favorites, you can see that we have an error because this form doesn't exist in the favorites page. So this is going to be something common in your JavaScript websites where you have more than one page. Sometimes these variables or these selectors won't exist. And we didn't have this problem in the previous example because we only work with one page websites. In this case, this one has multiple projects and multiple files also. So right here in the code, we're going to add if search form. In case that this is valid, we're gonna add this event listener. So this is going to fix this problem. You can see that we don't have this error anymore. So we're gonna open the index.html again. And now you can see that we have the event listener, and we also have the get cocktails function. So we can make a simple test. We can add, for example, E to pass the event, and then we can prevent the default, and we can console.log, click, or submit it or something. And we're gonna see that everything is working. So we're gonna open Chrome, click here, and you can see we have click. So everything is working just fine. So next we're gonna remove this. And we need to get the value from the input. If you open again the index.html, you can see that this input text has this ID, search. So we're gonna use this. And right here, I'm gonna create a new variable, const. Search term is going to be equals to document dot query selector, and we're gonna add the search ID. We need to retrieve the value. So I'm going to add dot value right here. And this is going to print the value. So let's make another test. We're gonna console log the search term like this and save this. And you can see if I add something here and click on get cocktails, it's going to print the value. So if you remove this and click here on the button, you can see this is empty. So we're gonna add the following code. Check something is on the search input. So we're gonna add if search term is equals to nothing, we're gonna console log print error, else we're gonna console.log query the REST API. So this is what we are going to do in the next videos. So click here, you can see we have print error. And let's add something. You can see we have query the REST API. So we're gonna start working With this, we're gonna print a message. Same approach that we used in the previous examples. We're gonna create a method in the user interface class. So we're gonna remove this, and we're gonna call user interface print message. So we need to create that class. So let's open the user interface, and we're gonna create a class. We're gonna call this one user interface, and then we're gonna add the message. So displays a custom message, and we're gonna call this print message. So this is going to be the method. We're gonna write this in the next video, but for example, here on the app.js, we need to instantiate the classes. So we're gonna const UI equals to new user interface, and this is going to create the instance. So right here, I'm going to add this right here, UI and a dot, and then we're gonna pass the method right here. Just to make a test, we're gonna open this and we're gonna console log from the method, and save this and open Chrome again, the browser, and click here. You can see we have from the method. So in the next video, we're gonna start working with this method. We're gonna print a small alert that is going to tell the user that they must provide some information right here in order to make a query. Let's continue working in the next video.